I'm Chip Miller. I play Ted.
I'm Aimee. I play Lena.
The sense of rejection sort of makes them close, and also just the fact that they kind of live in very tight worlds. Like they don't really go beyond Dr. Carp. Like both of their worlds sort of revolve centrally around Dr. Carp, and even though they might not be wanted, it's still their world, and so by sharing it, they sort of form a stronger friendship.
Lena, I don't know. I think that even when she wasn't dead, her world was very much just Dr. Carp's office as well, even when she did kind of have a life. But I imagine her, like, going home and, like, eating, like, a frozen dinner with her cat and, like, being sad and, like, I don't know, because, I don't know. I think she was very trapped even before, and now she's just physically trapped, but I think mentally and emotionally she was already kind of there. But I think she's slowly starting to learn to stand up for herself and say, look, I have other things going on. I'm making friends with Ted.
Yeah.
And so I think she's, like, growing to be more independent and less dependent on her need to please others.
I mean, Ted is sort of a static being right now, just because, you know, he has one goal in life, and that's to see as much of Dr. Carp as physically possible, or even not physically possible, as another episode explored. But, like, the thing about Ted is he's slowly realizing that, you know, Dr. Carp isn't always going to be there for them. And I feel like a lot of what happens in this episode is realizing that, you know, he's not alone. It's not just him and Dr. Carp and the world. There are other people out there, and Lena is part of that discovery for him. For me, it was kind of relieving and kind of strange, because when I'm on stage, I spend a lot of time worrying about my physicality, because when I'm just being me, I slouch a lot, and I do this, and not having to worry about that is kind of nice, but it also puts me in a weird state where I'm not sure what I'm focusing on. And so I'm trying to sort of channel that into, you know, great enunciation and, you know, just into character work, obviously, because you've only got your voice. But it's strange. Also working with scripts, like doing a finished project or finished product while holding a script is sort of weird and hard, because, you know, you get the script maybe a week before at most. Thanks, Dan. And
Poor Dan.
And so just working in that short time period to, you know, come up with a nice polished, you know, piece is hard and challenging.
Definitely, yeah. It's different because you have to really picture the world and, like, give yourself the sense, especially for Lena, that you're trapped in this office, that, like, this is all you see all day. You, like, look at a fern, and that's the most exciting thing you're going to see. Or, like, a bee flies in, and wow. But, like, it is tough, I think, to kind of create that world when you are in Dan's room, as lovely as it is. That is probably one of the more difficult parts of it, because so much of acting is, like, being in it, and so...
And being a part of a radio production means that you have to sort of generate an environment of silence, you know, which is sort of strange. Like, normally, you know,
That's hard.
I feel like I'm really bad at being quiet, and I think everyone else would agree, but, like, when you're just sitting in the room and making sure everyone is completely silent, and then, okay, now we start, is sort of weird, because I'm used to sort of, like, messing around and making noise and being able to shuffle my feet and doing lots of stuff with my body, whereas with radio, it's just complete stillness, complete silence, and that's interesting, I guess.
Especially when you're doing, like, comedic things, or when people should be reacting and it's dead silent, and you're like, am I not funny? And you're like, okay, they're not allowed to laugh. I might be funny. It's possible. Who knows?